Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Japheth Johnson, and I'm happy to welcome you back for another session again. Yesterday, we had a wonderful time with our speaker, and we were able to learn a lot from Mr. Ituan talking about NFT and metaverse. Today, it's another wonderful day where we are going to have a wonderful speaker joining us to present a beautiful topic that has to relate to the blockchain industry. I want to appreciate everyone that has been following this event. Once again, we're sorry for today's timing. We had some glitches we were able to fix actually on time, but thank you very much for still following us to watch live. And we are so happy to have every viewer from across different platforms, people watching from Facebook, people watching from LinkedIn and YouTube. We appreciate you all. We have been seeing your questions, we have been seeing your contributions on the comment section. We have been seeing everyone that have been sharing our videos, and we really appreciate it. To our sponsors, Hebron Academy, Biconta, Benny Apple, we thank you very much for all you have been doing. We can see the effect of all the work you have put into making this program a success. Today, it's not going to be an exception. We started this, and we have been getting a lot of um, viewers coming in from different communities to watch this program, and it's really awesome to have you guys here again. So today we are going to have a wonderful speaker, a friend of mine. We have worked in the industry for over 45 years now. He's a Web3 content marketer, and he has helped a lot of startups understand how to navigate around the blockchain space. He has been able to market different products, helping different startups here in Nigeria. He has mentored a lot of Nigerians that are into content marketing, content creation. He has been in the space for some time now, and I bet you that he has a lot of experience working with international companies that has to do with blockchain and cryptocurrency. Okay, so this person is very close to me. So I always call him my person, and he's no other person than Mr. Adele Greatman. As I've said, he has worked in the space. He has worked with different startups that has to do with blockchain and cryptocurrency. He has helped a lot of Nigerians understand how to be able to find themselves in the space and how they can also create value. Okay, so today Mr. Adele Greatman will be joining us to talk on a wonderful topic that has to do with career paths. He'll be telling us how um, individuals will be able to learn, how individuals will be able to find themselves or to fix in the blockchain or the currency space, because there's a lot of opportunities, and we'll be hearing from his own experience. And also, he will help guide us to understand how we can be able to take some of these jobs and make a good living out of it. So coming up today is Mr. Greatman. Welcome, sir. We are really happy to have you
Hey,
on
my
this.
boss.
Uh, so thank you very much for joining Blockchain for All 2023 edition. It's really awesome to have you. For the past 3 years, yeah, you have been behind the scenes making things work for us. But we're really happy to have you today. Share a lot of experience with our community, and so welcome, and please kindly introduce yourself. Maybe I've not done it well. Maybe you introduce yourself better to the new members. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. Um, so if I start, I'm a content marketing professional for the past 6, 7 years now. And essentially, what I do is to help brands be top of mind where their customers, audience are communicating and helping them educate their customers on what they're all about, and also being, with their customers where they are, where their problems are, also providing solutions and sharing like customer success stories for this brand. For the past 4 or 5 years now, we've been dabbling with the crypto space. I must thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Working with Conta was one of the opportunities. I got into the crypto space. Initially, I was a social media manager and content marketer for a scholarship brand, and it was a content marketing agency that provided scholarship for undergraduates, and I did that for I think over 2 years plus before joining Beconta. And ever since then I've been in the blockchain space, been doing pushing our educational efforts across board, and been I've had the opportunity to like work with Binance as head of content for Africa, and it's been a good opportunity, right? And I must say, there are so many opportunities in blockchain, right? And joining in has opened my eyes to some of these opportunities, and some of these networking. We get to interact with people, understand, how they are able to leverage this space. And I'm glad that this conversation is happening. I'm glad I'm also like part of this conversation. Yeah, it's really great to be here. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much, Mr. Greatman. As everyone has heard, he has had experience, and from the few companies he has mentioned, which were privileged to have this counter in it, shows how he has been able to help a lot of people have access to what is happening in the blockchain space. And that means there's so many content possibly a lot of people have read and you might not know, but he's the person behind the content. And it's awesome to see your face and to hear and learn from this too. Okay, so for everyone watching this video, before we go deep into the program today, you can just do us a favor. Kindly share this live event to your friends, your community on WhatsApp, possibly for them to join us live. It's going to be an engaging one where we want to take a lot of your questions because it really means a lot for us to take your questions and be able to give you some answers to them. So kindly share this with your friends. And please, if you have any question, if you have any concern, you can just write it on the comment section. It doesn't matter from where you are watching from. Wherever you write your comment, you'll be able to see it live in the studio, and our guest speaker will be able to attend to them. Okay, so to go in deeply today, thank you, Mr. Greatman, for joining us. Today, we are talking on a very interesting topic that has to do with understanding career paths in the blockchain and crypto space entirely. But before we go deep, we need to start. I always start to ask the other speakers to give us a good understanding of what the blockchain and what the crypto space is actually bringing to the table, so that we can be able to build our base from there for the entire conversation for today. So, what's your take about blockchain and cryptocurrency and what's really happening in the Web3 space?
And I mean, a lot has been happening in the Web3 space, at least within the little time I've been here. I think for one, I would say that a month in a blockchain industry, a month in the blockchain space is like a year in in because a lot of things can happen like within a month, within a quarter, you're able to like engage in like different projects and push like educational effort across board. And right, the blockchain space is ever evolving, and it's always good to like catch up the trend, understand what's happening. I mean, we can see that initially it was like NFT balls, and then we're seeing like metaverse comes into play, and now what we're seeing is AI coming to play. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. It's just allowing you to be
Okay.
on the screen for you to talk. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Just a little bit sure. So we're seeing AI come into play, and I think with the era of AI coming in, what we've seen is that it's created like new opportunities for people to like come into the blockchain space. We have blockchain and AI. We have different applications that AI can come into play. We are seeing opportunities for like AI prompt engineers, and we're seeing startups, like not just blockchain startups, startups across different sectors, wanting to integrate people that understand what AI is all about, right? So the blockchain space it has changed a lot of lives. It has changed my life, like personally, I come from a Web2 background, content marketer for like 4 years before I like joined the blockchain space, and I understand like the different conversations that happen are way different from how it happens in Web2. We are understanding, we are because Africa is like a very very promising is a very promising place, and we are seeing how we can educate more and more users about what blockchain is. We understand like the average Nigerian, the average African person doesn't understand like what blockchain is. So we're seeing like 0.1% of Africans are even using internet, and then we're looking at okay, how many percentage of these people can use can have access to financial product, can have access to like DeFi protocols, and all of that. So we've seen the need for educational efforts, and we've seen the need for engaging with users across board to understand what this blockchain really is, right? So I think for the past few years, what we've been doing is trying to like educate people, trying to simplify what blockchain is, trying to simplify what DeFi is. And I must say, getting into this space was a bit tricky for me because I didn't come in as like a crypto native, right? I came in and I still have to like understand what blockchain is for myself before I go to like explain to people what blockchain is. So I took the first couple of months to really understand, what it is, and as a result of where I work in, we see like different applications for blockchain, and you see something that just comes out and you're like, oh, you have to get to understand this for yourself before you go to find how you can communicate that. So I mean, it's been an exciting journey so far, and yeah, I'm just excited.
So thank you very much for that, giving us a good background on how you also started and seeing the possibilities of what blockchain is here to offer. Uh, it's really encouraging to know that you can actually go into this and within a shortest period of time, you'll be able to build your knowledge base to be able to actually see how you can teach yourself. And you have shown us how it can be one of it is you need to remove fear and take the
Yeah,
challenge because coming from Web2, a lot of people are stuck there, like looking at Web3 as something impossible to enter, which has been the major challenge. And thank you for using the word education. Education has been one of the tools we have been using to break that barrier
a
of
big
fear,
challenge.
be able to bring people into Web3. So every viewer can see that okay, you can move from your current state of whatever you're doing and see that blockchain has an impact or can be of good impact to you. So just for you to break the fear and actually take the leap to learn. So thank you very much for
That's right.
that wonderful foundation with regards to your topic. So we want to give you time now for you to be able to talk a lot about your topic, possibly 10 to 15 minutes. But if there's anything we see, jump into application. So you have maybe 10 minutes to discuss about the entire topic, then we begin to ask questions. We're going to share this to a lot of communities, so hopefully we'll be getting more questions. So the next 30 minutes possibly will be for questions and answer. So you just tell us about how is the workspace, how do we get into the workspace, what are the skills we need to learn, how difficult are they, what are the tricks you can use to actually get companies to employ you. So those are the things we are expecting you to share. So that a lot of people that are possibly in the banking sector, people that are
Yeah,
in the normal convention business, normal content
yeah.
creators, what are those things they need to learn and how do they learn them and how do they find themselves integrated into the Web3 ecosystem. So over to you, Mr. Greatman.
Okay, I'm just gonna share. I just had to prepare a little slide for this. I think some of this I'm going to share is like privileged information. So, but I mean, uh, Mr. Jeffrey is my boss, my brother, and
Mhm.
we're family. So I'm just gonna put this out. So I'm just gonna try to share my screen now. Let me see. Just trying to. Alright. So, can you see my screen?
Not yet.
What about now?
Okay, so it will be coming up. I'll be adding yes, so we can see it now.
Okay. Okay. So basically, we're talking about like career opportunities in Web3, and we're looking at an overview of what Web3 is, and essentially Web3 is a peer-to-peer network that operates without intermediaries like the bank. It allows users to interact and share data securely and transparently. I mean, I know that a lot of speakers before me have covered this extensively, so I'm not going to like dwell on this. I'm just going to look at the opportunities that lie in blockchain. We're just going to go straight to where the money is, right? And I'm sure that's why most of us are here. According to a report by Glassdoor, the median salary for blockchain related jobs in the United States is $84,884, which is higher than the median salary for all other jobs on the site. What this means essentially is that Web3 jobs, we are seeing that they have more potentials than normal Web2. I'll give you an instance. I came from a job of that was paying me over that was paying me less than $150 to a job that is paying me more than $1,000, right? And it happened in the space of a year. So it's I'm a personal testimony to what this data is talking about, right? And how did it happen is that I positioned myself, to get this opportunity, and that's what we'll be sharing today, right? So we're just gonna look at how many opportunities are in Web3, and we're seeing blockchain developers. Developers are they are the hot cake in this business, right? Because whether we like it or not, the world is going into Web3. Whether we like it or not, just like the internet of 99, which I keep saying, the internet of the 90s, we are coming into what we call the blockchain era, where people own their data, where people are able to like share their own data and be rewarded for their own value. And with that happening, with us seeing like blockchain and AI, seeing metaverse, seeing NFTs, seeing how DeFi and how people can actually learn, borrow, start up businesses without the need for bank loans, without the need of going to the bank, how people can easily interact and make payments without the need for banks. What this has created is an opportunity for average Nigerians, for average Africans to explore this space for themselves, right? And what this has done is that it has created opportunity for people that are very skilled to come into the space, right? I give you an instance. Let's say I'm going to start a Web3 startup around education, right? Obviously, I'm going to need a developer. And obviously, let's say I want to start a decentralized autonomous community. I'm still going to need, a developer that's going to be at the back end. And this plan is responsible for implementing, maintaining dApps, decentralized applications that run on the blockchain network. So developers are like one of the top guys, like they are the top guns, right? Like anytime I say
Mhm.
developer and I know that it's in Web3, just like my boss, right? I dove cap for them because these guys are the guys that are making it. And like I said, as a result of being in this space, I understand key areas, key jobs that are hotcake in this industry. Another one is business developer, like the BDs. We call them the BDs, right? These guys are responsible for implementing strategies that drive growth and revenue for companies, right? And these guys are earning not less than $3,000, $5,000, and I know some of these guys personally, right? So if you're looking to go into the blockchain space and you have like a background in business development, it's something that you should look to go into. And we're looking at UI, UX designers, marketing specialists, because obviously a Web3 startup is going to have a marketing team. We're looking at the entrepreneurs, people that actually start up these businesses. They go look for the liquidity providers, they launch their tokens, launch, whatever startup they have, and among other things, right? So I just highlighted these five, and there's one extra one that I want to talk about because I was at an event earlier last week, and a guy walked up to me. He was from the banking sector. He has been in the banking sector for 10 years, and he walked up to me and he told me that he was looking to get into tech. And I was like, what does that even mean? Like, what did he do in the bank? And I figured that this guy is someone that worked in a customer, I think customer something, either customer support or customer something. But I asked him, okay, what skills did he involve? And I asked him, does he know how to use Excel? And he said he actually knows how to use Excel very well. He knows how to do data entry. He knows how to do data analysis. I'm like, if you have knowledge in data analysis, you are a big name in this industry. Because
Mm.
whether you like it or not, whether as a business developer, as a marketing specialist, social media, the ability to track data, the ability to inform strategy based on data, the ability to be data driven and understand these um, core tools and how to use them makes you like gives you an advantage over a lot of people. And I say it again, if you have a strong background in data analysis, you are a hot cake in this industry, right? And it's something I've seen play out, and it's something that I always encourage people. Personally, I'm actually going to I've started taking courses in data analysis. I inform my boss. So I'm also like looking to upgrade my game, right? And that's another thing. When you get into the space, always upgrade your game. Don't remain where you started,
Exactly.
right? We're looking at with the era of metaverse, we're looking at video editors, we're looking at blockchain gamers, we're also looking at graphics guys, we're looking at people that know how to use these tools properly, right? So I think the misconception that most people have about opportunities in Web3 is that they think that there are Web3 jobs, but these are just a transition of what you do in Web2 and how you can actually
Mm.
position it to work for you in Web3, right? It's not like we are reinventing new jobs. We are still using these same people that understand what blockchain is, right? If you understand, if you have a knowledge of blockchain, I think that's what I'll be talking about next. Maybe after the benefits, if you have an understanding of blockchain and you have a skill, it's a big advantage, right? Let's look at benefits of blockchain. I think I was wrong. We see higher salaries, like I talked earlier. Web3 is relatively new, is a growing industry. So the demand for workers very high. We
Mm.
are still early. We are still very, 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 very early. A lot of we've not even hit any percentage in terms of adoption. And we know that when adoption keeps growing, we know that more startups are going to come in. We know that there's going to be more opportunities. We know that there's going to be, you know, a big opportunity to grow in that space, right? So we have great autonomy and flexibility. I added this one because I used to work a job that I had to wake up early and I had to like leave the house, very early as like 6:30, and I have to like be at the office and before work starts at 9. But with blockchain, you have autonomy. You can just wake up. Like most times, I wake up and do one or two things, meditate. Try to like keep my head in order before like I go on laptop. Sometimes you can just be on laptop and sleep off, or sometimes you sleep off and you wake up. All right, so that's how I was can relate with it. So like there's also opportunity for innovation. Like I said, Web3 is an emerging industry, is in early stages. So it presents a lot of opportunities for development, a lot of opportunity for creativity in developing new solutions and applications. And then we have potential for social impact. So we see that most Web3 startups are all about educating people, right? And we know that a community that is taught, a community that is educated is a community that will grow. Because what we
Exactly.
see is that essentially when these companies go in to train a community, because they are financially wise, because they have access to these financial tools, they understand how to use these platforms, we start to see the standard of living in that society grow. That's why you see that with Web3, we are seeing more people come out of poverty,
Mm.
right? More and more people come out of poverty as a result of being in the Web3 space, right? So we're going to look at how to start and grow your career in Web3. Understand the basis of blockchain technology. I won't hit on this even further. Let me emphasize a bit. Understanding the basis of blockchain technology doesn't mean you should understand everything in blockchain, because even as I'm here, I don't understand. Blockchain is so vast. Like you can stay on blockchain for a full year and you don't understand everything, right? But if you understand the basics, if you understand, what blockchain is, how blockchain works, right? Understand some of the use cases. You can understand, okay, this is how this works. This is how I can plug in here. This is how companies make revenue from this technology. Then you can carve a space for yourself and say, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is how I can plug into this space and make some certain income for myself,
Exactly.
right? So once you understand, the basic of blockchain, is the first thing in your roadmap to know where you're going, right? So we look at getting hands-on experience through internships, hackathons, and coding. When I started content marketing, I interned for this agency, right? And I did intern for a year before I became a full-on staff. And what I understood was that way before that, I didn't have experience in content marketing. I used to like read it in courses and I understood the concept, but in practicality, I didn't understand what it is. And I know that a lot of people trying to get into blockchain, trying to get into Web3, don't understand it, because if you're not in the space, it sounds gibberish. You say, oh, AI has, disrupted our space. We're seeing, DeFi lending, the whole concept of it is so strange to you. But when you intend for a company, intend for a company like Biconta, intend for a company like Binance, intend for any crypto exchange, right? You are giving, hands-on experience, because like I said, a month in a blockchain startup is like a year, because a lot of things happen and it happens so fast, and you have to like get on it, you have to jump on the train, you have to try to make something happen. So an internship is something that is good for you. Always join like Web3 communities, stay up to date with latest trends, connect with other professionals. I'm always a fan of like going out to networking events, meeting other people that is shaking it in the Web3 space, sitting having conversations with them. opportunities Opportunities are out there, opportunities are on LinkedIn, but the truth is, most opportunities are in networks. And I have to like, buttress on this. Most opportunities are in networks, and if you're not part of some certain networks, these opportunities will pass you by. So opportunities you're looking for are just an event away. You can just go for an event, have a talk with some of the speakers, say what you're doing, and before you know it, you get a job, right? So taking to the fourth point, attending Web3 events. Attend Web3 events, gain insight from experts, connect with them. Like not just go to an event and just sit, take your jotter, you write things down and then you go. No, connect with these speakers. In 2019, when I wanted to start the my content marketing journey, I was a speaker at an event, and as God to have it, another speaker was a man I was looking to intern for his company. I loved what he was doing, actually Excel, the founder of Silicon Africa Technologies. And I loved what he was doing. And after his speech, I walked up to him and I told him, oh, wow, sir, I love, all you're doing. I follow you online, and this is what I'm all about. And I'd like to, have a conversation with you. I'd like to know if there's any opening. I was so straightforward, and, as great to have it, he told me, okay, come by the office, let's have a conversation. And, that's how I, went there. And the following week, and, this whole journey started, right? But if I was just at home and said, okay, oh, I can just be here and, keep scrolling Twitter and Instagram and the rest of them, and I don't step out and connect, I couldn't have gotten the opportunity. And, one thing leads to another, get into the Web3 stage instead. So, while I'm sharing these stories, I want to inspire someone to start. Sometimes you might think that growing a career in Web3 is far from you, right? But the key is to actually start from where you are, right? Start from where you are. Go out from some of these events. Yes, you don't understand, what's going on, but connect with these people, right? After the event, chat up Mr. Jaffet. Oh, I'm actually new to this Web3 space. Oh, I loved, what you've talked about. Connect and find out what opportunities. Opportunities are in conversations. I always like to like talk with people. I also like to like know what their project is all about. Understand what they are all about. Right. Build some solid relationship for your business, and you know you can have something for yourself. Right. So lastly, leverage on social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, and connect with other professionals. Right. So these things are what I've done, and they have helped me grow in the Web3 space. I did it in my company, in the content agency I worked for. I did it. I connected with someone that referred me, and I was working at Binance, right? So this is something that would help like a lot of us. Like I said, understand the basic of blockchain technology, get hands-on experience, join Web3 communities, join Web3 events, like leverage on social media. LinkedIn optimization is something I don't know if I have so much. Let me just share shortly on it. Okay, let me
Yeah.
just sir, do I have time?
Yes, you do. You do.
Okay. Let
Yes.
me just so sharing. I'm gonna just share this. Just briefly talk, on some key things about LinkedIn. So let's go. So this is LinkedIn right here, and this is my profile. So a lot of us, you know, are not on LinkedIn. And if you're not on LinkedIn, I advise you to, come on LinkedIn, right? I advise you to do that. Why is that? Um, like it or not, a lot of opportunities are on LinkedIn, right? So I'm just going to share this real quick. This is what we call like your LinkedIn profile. As you can see, I have some of the places I work in. I launched a website on blockchain.com where I talk about Web3 knowledge and all about the blockchain industry. And you can see some of my featured status where I've spoken in, articles I've written, and most of my performing posts. Right now, I want to share this with you. Now, you get on LinkedIn, right? Understand that how LinkedIn works is that it works with keywords. It works with um, LinkedIn is channeled to favor the recruiters. It's channeled to favor the people that bring LinkedIn revenue. And what this means is that if I'm a founder and I'm a CEO, I'm a headhunter, and I come on LinkedIn, LinkedIn knows that I'm going to pay them to, bring me to the right people that are qualified for my job. And what this means is that I don't know everybody, right? But all I know is the people that LinkedIn bring me to. Now, your job as someone that is looking for a job in the Web3 space is to position yourself. And what this means is that you need to be able to put in keywords that are happening around the Web3 space. Let's say I'm an HR from a Web3 company and I'm looking for a content marketer. Now, me, what I do is I position myself as a content marketer. That's why you can see literally I have content marketer on my headline. I have blogger, I have SEO, I have Web3 marketer, right? We know that blockchain marketers are now called Web3 marketers, and this is a buzz that is happening. So you should be able to like leverage on trends, always keep optimizing your headlines, right? So I always say this is what we call your LinkedIn headline, right? On your LinkedIn headline, what you should do is what job are you trying to get, right? And depending on the job you're trying to get, ask yourself, what is this recruiter coming on LinkedIn to put on the search bar, right? Now, the guy might be coming to search for a content marketer, but now myself, I will now go and put a digital manager. What it has essentially done is that it has taken me off the list of people that this recruiter will target, right? So what you want to do is you don't want to shoot yourself in the leg. I see some people on LinkedIn, they put, Adiele Greatman, then they say like lover of God, father, a lot of this. And while all these things are nice, you want to put your best foot forward. You want to try to help your destiny, right? You want to try to make it that, okay, even if you are not the most qualified for the job, but you are in the number, right?
Yes.
So you want to put like a job, like you see B2B content marketer. I put it there, for companies that are looking for this particular person, right? And I've seen a lot of opportunities on LinkedIn. A lot of opportunities come to my DM, you know, and I'm able to leverage some of these opportunities. I'm able to leverage some of these collaborations as a result of how I position myself, right? So the first thing you need to put up is the job that you're looking for on your headline, right? You ask yourself which keyword are they looking for, and you put it. So I want to go straight, and then we go to the bio session. I'm just going to go straight to this is the about session. So what you want to do on your about session is your about session is not about you. Remember that you're trying to target people that are looking for what you're offering. So you see, I just put a lot of keywords there. You see experience content marketing professional, you see B2B marketing, you see SEO, you see Web3 education, you see on page, off page, technical SEO projects, you see digital marketing strategy. Basically, what I'm sharing about my journey, selling myself, because I see my LinkedIn profile as a billboard. My LinkedIn profile is where people are not going to come to chat me on my DM to find out what I'm all about. From what I've seen, they go to my profile, they look at my profile, from my profile, they come and they initiate conversation, right? So you should be able to, put in your track record. Let's say I wanted to advise that guy that had a 10 years background in the banking sector, and he had a good knowledge base on Excel and data entry and data analysis. So I'll just come and say, oh, I'm an experienced data analyst, because I know that it's data analysts that these guys are looking for, right? It's strategists, digital strategists, right? Because you have to have, that skill in of data analysis to actually advise companies on the direction they should go, you know. And so you want to put in what you've done. You're not about what you are. Like, I mean, I'm saying this respectfully, nobody really cares about who you are. They actually care about the offering that you're bringing to the table, right? So you want to put in, what you've done. You see, I've said I've trained over, 3,238 businesses, both online and offline, leveraging digital tools. So you want to like talk about what you've done, share about your results on your about session, so that when they read this, they know that okay, this person is qualified. Like recruiters they see thousands of resumes on a daily. What is going to set you apart, right? So this is how it works. Then we talk about in your different jobs, you need to be able to share what you are doing, share the results they are doing in the businesses. Like for the various businesses I've worked with, I put in, what I've done because, like I said, recruiters are going through these, they are going through these channels and they are searching based off on keywords, right? So it's an optimization game. So I've talked about the about session, even in your experience session, if you've done something, be able to itemize what you did, right? Driving key partnerships, whatever it is, itemize it based off of who you are attracting, not about yourself, but about the offering you're making and about the person that you're attracting. All right. So um that's that. And also be able to take certifications, upload your resources. As a content marketer, I don't just stay idle. I take courses. I'm a content. I like storytelling. I like to explain about user case studies, user success stories. So I go in, I go learn about business analytics. I learn about storytelling. I learn about things that are relevant to my craft that keeps me relevant in the game, right? So I've garnered like over different courses across Google, HubSpot certified, and once companies see that, they know that okay, this guy knows what he's doing, right? So you go on your posts, you don't want to like share, oh, um I I went to the Bahamas and I relaxed with some Kool-Aids and some drinks and my friends. Oh, life is good. You want to be able to share value, right? It's about the content you bring to the table. So I want to reshape your mindset about job search. I want to reshape your mindset. See it as a networking game. See it as an opportunity for you to communicate with someone that you haven't seen about what you are all about what you do, right? About the value that you bring, because it's always about the values that you bring, right? So I just use my um, profile as a sample of, what LinkedIn organization is all about. Just shortly, so that you can see that. I mean, there are a lot of resources online. There is always a lot of resources online. Go to YouTube. Search. There are literally LinkedIn optimization courses. Search these courses. Understand how to position yourself first, right? Because, like it or not, a lot of people are looking for Web3 jobs just like you're looking for it, and that's
Mm.
the truth. But you have to say what sets you apart. If you can't understand what sets you apart, a job can literally pass you by and go to somebody that is less qualified than you. But because this person was visible and positioned himself correctly, he gets the job. I've seen this play out over and over again. And I want you to listen to this. It's more about a visibility game than it's about a competence game. There are a
Mm.
lot of people that are doing better than you, that are having more compensation than you, because they have more opportunities than you, because they put themselves out there. But you are better than them. But it's just me, you, and your family members that know that you're better than them. Why? Because you've not put your content out there. You've not positioned yourself properly. So, before we get into the conversation of, whether there are opportunities, how you've, applied for different jobs and you haven't had a breakthrough, think again, go back to your board and look at how you're positioning yourself. Look how you're putting yourself out there. Like I said, someone met me and he's telling me after 10 years in the banking sector, and he's coming to tell me that he's a newbie in tech, there was already a problem in the conversation. He was already selling himself. So you should be able to come and sell yourself based on what you've done. You're selling yourself as an expert. You're not selling yourself for how I need you. You're saying, no, I'm coming to provide value to you. Like if you're coming, companies don't want to come and do and look for somewhere that they are going to have headache. No, it's a perception game. They don't know you. They don't know what you don't know what you're about. They don't know how good you are until you actually show how good you are, based off what you're posting, based off how you're
Exactly.
positioning your profile, based off where you see yourself, based off where like you go for an event, put it out there. You have content. Literally, take up your mic, your start a podcast, start something that puts your personal brand out there. I keep telling people it's about now it's more about community and personal brands than it's about competence, because it's an eyeball game. Companies want people that will give them more eyeballs, right? The average user takes about 8 seconds before they move to the next content. But if they see that you have a community, now this is a cheat sheet a cheat code I'm giving you for free. Like if you met me, you'll be paying me for this information, right? If you're looking for a Web3 job, and this is for me to you personally, there's nobody here, there's just us, right? You're looking for a Web3 job, go out there and share about what you do. Go out and see about what you do. Just be the community. Focus on it. And you see that over time, your personal brand increases. Over time, you're building a thought leadership capacity. You bring it into the game, and you come into a company and you command that respect. Because that's what companies are looking for. Companies are looking for better representatives online. Every company likes good PR. Every company likes good PR. So before you look out for these jobs, how are you positioning yourself? And I'm gonna end with that. Thank you so much. I think if there are any questions, we can take them. Thank you
All
so much,
right,
my
thank you
boss.
very much for that one. I thank you for the free gift you have given us. I know for sure a lot of these have to be paid for, but thank you very much. And this is what relationship is giving, because we have gone out, we have met you. You're giving us this for free, and as a community, we really appreciate you. Thank you very much. I think if half of the things you said are going to be implemented, we are going to start seeing in the next 1 month a lot of people getting jobs. So we don't even need to wait till the next one, because a lot of people already have these skills.
Oh, no time to wait.
They don't really know how to put out there themselves for them to get this opportunity. So if we're going to just implement half, not even all, I think a lot of us already will start to get a lot of offers from this company. So thank you very much for
Yeah.
this wonderful time for you to have been able to share value. And one thing is keep going out there to show yourself. Keep the moment you keep doing it, you keep becoming better. So even if it's something you don't know, I could remember I started teaching people how to create website while I was learning how to create the same website I was teaching them. But over a period of time, I became very good with it, and it was easy for me to teach. So they say teachers, well, the more you teach, the easier for you to learn that
Yeah.
same data. So we need to just go out there, show ourselves, do it gradually over and over again, and with time we'll become professionals. So thank you very much, Mr. Greatman. I think our question has started dropping in, so we'll go directly into question and answers. We have
Okay.
spent so much time, but please pardon us because we started late today. We still have 15 to 20 minutes of question and answers. I know a lot of people might possibly want to go and do something, but please just bear with us for the next 20 minutes. And this is very important. So you have the opportunity to ask him any question now. And our first question comes from Mr. Imo Masterpiece. Um, he said, this is very educative. Can you please explain more on the importance of data analysis in the Web3 space?
Okay. Thank you for this question, Imo's masterpiece. So, it depends on what you understand by data analysis, right? Is literally self-explanatory. It means analyzing data and showing the company, based off the data you've analyzed, what the direction they should take is. I give you an instance. Let's say you're consulting for a startup um, that is into payments, right? And based off the data you're looking at, that a particular place, a particular region is giving them more traffic than another region. And from what you've seen from their spend, that they are spending more in this region and it's giving them more impressions, giving them more direction and all of that. But most of their traffic is coming from here. Now, you as a journalist, it's your job to like tell them that from what you've seen from the data, that they should invest more in these people, right? So that's like the role of editor. I just broke it down for you, right? And this is like the minutest. So data analysts, we see them like strategists, right? Because if you're a marketer and you have a huge background in data analysis, is a big advantage for you, right? Because you're going to be very, very relevant to companies. That's why I keep hammering it because, okay, so like me, I give you an instance. In 2018, 2019, I realized the buzz around, selling digital products. And I created a book. I launched the book, made over 500,000 from that sale. And, started talking about storytelling before storytelling like became really a thing. And that trend, I kept encouraging people to like be out there, the personal brands, put it out there. I think on Instagram, I got up to 10K. Facebook, I maxed over 5K friendships. I kept telling stories. I kept doing that. I kept doing it on LinkedIn. That's how I kept building my followership. And then I've seen that it's another trend that is playing out in the blockchain space. If you have a good knowledge in data analysis, you are a good person for a growth marketer role, you're a good person for an operations role, you're a good person for a marketing role, right? So you are an all-round person because it's going to help, it's going to give you an advantage in the space, right? So that's how important like data analysis are. So if you're starting a course, I encourage you to like keep at it. I encourage you to always share your journey. Don't just start something and just keep it and then come at the end. No, share your journey. Share your journey. I keep saying it. I've been doing it for years. I will keep doing it. Right? Being able to share my journey, being able to like be there so that people that are looking out for me, they see my journey. They say, okay, this guy has a track record, right? So that's just all I'll say on that. I hope that it really helps you out. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that. I believe you'll be able to answer that. You'll be able to answer the question to Mr. Imo. So just like you have said, first of all, the skill set is even important. You need to learn, then you'll be able to see how you'll be able to apply to a lot of things. Yes, like you have said, data analysis is really hot, and a lot of people are taking the opportunity to learn. So why not just learn it first? Most time people want to know how will I make money from the skill without even learn the skill first. So learn the skill,
A lot
then
of people.
the way the money will come, it will just find its way because money chases value. So when you are becoming more valuable, you don't need to worry about the money. Money will chase you. So thank you very much for that answer. Then we have questions from the community. Now we have Hebron Academy's question to you. But please, our viewers, we want to take your question. Your questions are more important to us. I can meet Mr. Greatman anytime I'm asking questions. But if you might go and ask him now, you might be paying him money to answer. So it's an opportunity for you to ask 3 questions. I think a lot of people are not really taking advantage of the live session because imagine someone that you are supposed to go and pay for consultancy and is coming here and we're saying ask him any question. It's really important to take advantage of it because when we are offline now, you might not have opportunities to ask questions like this. So, okay, Simon, thank you so much. Looking at start out data analysis. So hopefully, this will help improve. So our question is: okay, we understand the challenges with upcoming guys going into tech space, and a lot of people are getting confused. What to even learn? What should we go to? The advances in AI is causing a lot of someone want to even write
Disruption.
content writing, and before he even learns how to even construct sentence, AI is here to construct a whole article. So so the challenge is becoming enormous. The threat is even going for high-end skills, guys. So how do you think the new guys are going to enter? How do you think they should approach the entire space that has to do with content creation, marketing, and whatsoever skill that required in the blockchain space.
Yeah, I think it was Naval that said that AI will never take the role of artists. And what that means is that if you're really good at what you do, AI is not there to replace you. AI is there to assist you do your job better, right? Because at the end of the day, you're not going to be replaced by AI. You're going to be replaced by someone that knows how to use AI to do your job.
Exactly.
So this is just a call out for you to go back and play with AI, understand how AI is doing your job, and learn how to do your job and more, do your job faster and more creative with AI,
Yes.
right? So it's a different thing. There are people that say AI is here to replace us. There are people that say, oh, AI is here. Let's learn how to do our job faster,
Mm,
right? So what gives you the complete advantage is the shift in mindset, right?
mm,
So for the new people coming in to the content marketing space, and we see that yes, AI is coming to churn out content, but it takes a level of skill to get good content, right? I've used AI to write some content, and at first try, it just gives you something. Someone that may not have the skill in optimized SEO content writing may not see it, but it's you that know how you write your content to rank on search engine. So basically, what you're now doing AI is you're teaching AI how to write your content to produce
mm,
it faster in a way that will rank. So it's not that AI is not producing content, you're also assisting the AI to help you do your job better. So there are different ways. So I always advise anybody that coming in, as you're learning the skill, learn how to use AI to do it. It's a cheat code for you, right?
mm.
What I've done personally is I've gone in, I've looked at a lot of YouTube videos. My slide that you saw, I created with AI, right? Uh, yes, I created in like less than 8 minutes with AI. I was going to share that, slide. And this a very brilliant example. When I created a slide, I just went into ChatGPT and I said, "Hi, ChatGPT, or this is what I'm going to be talking on. Pull out data on this," and it pulled out the data. I converted it into my script. And I said, "Hey, ChatGPT, I'm going to go, and I asked it these prompts, and
Yeah.
it pulled it out. And I just checked online what AI can even create this slide in for free. And he put it up, and in less than 10 minutes, I have all this together. Now, normally it took me sometimes it takes me hours, doing research to pull out, some of these slides. But with this what AI has come to is come to make life easy for the people that know how to leverage it, right?
Exactly.
So on the AI conversation is a very tricky conversation. A lot of people don't want to go into AI, but you don't realize that sooner or later you get in. The question is how early were you, right?
Mm,
Because over time I've seen that the industry doesn't, pardon my language, the industry doesn't respect how you feel about it. Industries across different sectors will always favor early adopters.
mm,
Always before you get in, you now see that, oh, this person has learned beyond the prompts. This person has learned how to do, you know, something really,
mm-hmm.
really interesting, and then you're now trying to catch up. So like AI is not going to replace you. AI, yes, AI will replace some jobs, but we are seeing the era of AI prompt engineers, get into the space, play around AI, understand how it does your job, and it's going to be good for you. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much for that wonderful answer. That's a question from the academy. So we believe it will help a lot of our students that are really scared about what AI is coming to do. That
Yeah.
whatever to do, we need to just at least go in adult early, and you'll be able to learn and become master within the shortest period of time possible. So AI is even helping people learn faster. That's what some people don't even understand. There are a lot of skills that might take you 2, 3 years for you to be able to learn it. But with AI now, you can just use 6 months possibly. You are done. You'll be able to go to the right point of where to learn and how to learn it. So thank you very much for that. I think our next question before we take orders again from live. Please, if you are watching live, ask your question. Our time is fast spent. We barely have 5 minutes. That's supposed to be 1 hour. We barely have 5 minutes for question and answer. So the next question and answer session, what we're having from the academy is okay. Regarding education, which is very important, it's something that we know is dear to you. We have followed you. We have seen how we have been able to push education to the young ones and even professionals out there. Uh, what are the methods or let's even take it, what challenges do you see in the education sector, and how do you think we can navigate around? Because everyone academy is also into pushing education. So what challenges have you seen, and how do you think we can all join hands to navigate around pushing this education for better adoption in the Web3 space?
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for that question. And what we've seen is that in the Web3 space, the average person that knows how to use iPhone and Android. I'm not talking about the people that don't even know how to use internet. The average people that use internet don't understand blockchain. I give an instance. We went around and community asking people whether they should pick 1 million naira or one BTC, and we saw that a number of people actually pick 1 million naira over one Bitcoin. And we're seeing one Bitcoin, hit like over $30,000, which is like, I try not to think of it in naira because I'm trying to like leave everything in dollars so that my mind will calm down. So,
Mm,
and we see people that, pick 1 million naira over one Bitcoin. And you know that there's already an educational gap, right?
mm,
And, we talk about a lot of financial services that blockchain offers for free to people, right? I give an instance of a use case. I was a freelancer for a couple of years, and I lost a lot of gigs because most of them, most of the companies, the payment platforms they use were not available in Nigeria. I worked for an African company, and even paying from their country to Nigeria wasn't available, right? But with the help of crypto, I was able to be paid my first, foreign gig where I got in USDT. And over time, this is one of the favorite use cases I have for blockchain, right? So in Africa, we see that a lot of people don't understand what blockchain is. It's gibberish. It's gibberish. Like I've been in tech for more than a decade, but when I heard about blockchain, at first it was strange to me until I sat down to do the math, until I sat down to like do my research, right? So the challenge that we have in Africa is that, and that's the biggest challenge to the blockchain industry, is that a lot of people don't understand blockchain. So like for Hebron Academy, I'm happy for what Hebron is doing. I'm happy for what Mr. Jaffa is doing through Hebron Academy, for the community in Nigeria and Africa at large, you know, pushing more blockchain knowledge. Just like we have blockchain for all conferences, I'm happy that these things are happening where we talk to professionals, where we talk to normal people. We tell them, we preach the gospel of blockchain and Web3, and the opportunities that lie. Like there are a lot of opportunities that lie in blockchain that a lot of people don't know. There's what we call liquidity providers. There are like shillers. There are like community managers. There are a lot of these opportunities. There are authors, there are speakers, there are, you get paid, to speak on blockchain, you get paid to write books, you know, and you make money from them. You get paid to become an influencer for different crypto exchanges, right? So there are different opportunities that lie in this thing, but you have to understand like what blockchain is for yourself. Let's say you just want to understand based off of the use cases, right? You see blockchain use case across the health sector, across supply chain, through charities, but you wonder how this thing works, how we can contribute money and go into remote villages, to help people, feed, to help people, provide clothing for them, provide education for them. We see different companies doing it, finance charity, and the likes of them, right? But these are a lot of things that happen in the blockchain sector, but a lot of people don't know this, right? So we want to come to a place like for blockchain to get more adoption. We need to come to a place where a lot of people understand this, and how this works is that we need to be there when people are searching for it. We need to be there talking about this in conferences. We need to be there talking about this in emails. We need to be there sharing this on social media. Having bite-sized clip, pushing it across TikTok. Using different dance moves to show what blockchain is. Explaining it in layman terms, using
mm,
cartoons, using different distribution platforms, right? And that is like the biggest thing that we can really do, for Web3 in Africa. I think Africa has a lot of potentials, and I believe that with the educational efforts that we're pushing in, that a lot of people are going to be liberated from poverty. Essentially, because the vast majority of people in Nigeria are poor, and with access to blockchain infrastructure, with access to DeFi protocols, we can see some liberation, right? So I believe that the biggest challenge is education, and how we can do it better is to just continue, like, hold the fort, push out on more platforms where people are interacting, share what
Exactly.
blockchain is in layman terms. Like, let's try to simplify it, for the average people that are watching us.
No. So thank you very much. That's a lot of value in just one question. Thank you very much. We need to just take up the spirit of education. I think even if it's little that you should try to share with someone. It's very important. Elderly ones, I don't even understand. Some of them came from phones that were not smartphones, but gradually we begin to see grandmas using
Exactly.
smartphones. Understand? So it's the same method. I think the Gen Zs, as we call ourselves, should be patient enough to teach those ones that are new into it. And at the same time, because that's what will help the adoption, we need to understand that we need to bring
True.
everybody on board. When we bring everybody on board, then
True.
even the market cap and whatsoever we're looking at the entire space will be able to enjoy it. I usually tell a lot of youth, I said, technology has given us opportunity to unseat those ones that don't want to unseat themselves. So technology has given us
Exactly.
opportunity to retire those that don't want to retire. Okay, and this is the only platform that gives us a fair play, because we have seen a lot of elderly ones that don't want to leave position for the youth one.
It
So
levels
there's
the
no
playing
problem.
ground.
Exactly. So the technology has
Yeah.
given us opportunities now to be able to unseat a lot of people, and it's going to happen right in their faces, and they can't do nothing about it. So it's all about how do we take opportunities in this space and see how we can make our life better. Yes, we don't create job. This is a platform that offers us a fair play to create jobs for ourselves and even our friends around. So I feel there's a lot that will be done. The government will be looking at us to create more jobs now. So we won't be looking at government to create jobs for us, because we are going to be the game changers, and this is just the time. If we have been saying or we have been hearing the future is for us, I think these platforms have given us the opportunity to
Now,
create that future that people have been saying. So thank you very
yeah.
much, Mr. Greatman. From the entire community, we really appreciate you. I think most of your answers have answered most of the questions, so I might not be repeating some of those questions, because uh, you have answered a lot of that. I think just one that I'll just maybe share, because a lot of people come from background that they feel maybe you had opportunity, maybe your dad was a senator, we never know. Maybe that's why you were able to learn this engineering part, or maybe you maybe you didn't school in Nigeria or something like that. So I think one of the questions that is very important that I would just need to ask, maybe in just 1 minute, what are the challenges you faced? Because some people don't really know your background, so they might feel like you had all the privilege. So when speakers come like this,
Oh,
we
no, no,
have
no.
been, yeah. So please just give us, were they challenges or was it all rosy for you throughout your learning curve?
I mean, I always believe that, at the end of the journey, you can always look back to connect the dots, right?
Mm,
So a highlight for me is that there used to be a time that I knew so much about content marketing, but little in my pocket.
mm,
So I remember this quote that it was a meme, and it made so much sense to me at the time. It was, so much money in the world, so little in my pockets. So
mm.
it stayed with me. My first laptop I got for my final year project. I got it for my mom, and then I usually defended my this thing, my I defended my project final year,
Oh, so
and
your
then the
first
laptop
laptop
packed up.
was for your project. You didn't even get your laptop before
Yes,
in your 100 level days.
no,
Wow.
it was my project. So
Wow.
after that, it packed up, right? And while in school, I tried to like sell, fashion wares. I had the business I was growing with a friend, but final year we had like differences, and I think NEPA has done what is good at.
It's fine.
Give me a
It's
sec.
it's fine.
So
I can hear you. Well.
okay, good. Um, okay. So NEPA just want to
Did their
be
job.
unfortunate. So let's just continue. Oh, so in my final year, I lost that business, due to differences. And
Hmm.
I remember so clearly, November 2018, I graduated in 2018. September, I had dropped my pen, last paper, and I was confused about life. Like, no laptop. I don't know what I'm going to do in this life. I only knew that I used to tell stories on Facebook and, and get some clients for that business. But that business had gone and, I didn't know what to do with my life.
Hmm.
And I had only 2,000 naira in my pocket, in November 28th. I remember very clearly. And, what stood out for me is that there was this guy on Facebook. I can remember his name, Ghost Time was his name. And I inboxed him because he was an accountability coach, right, on publishing books. So I was curious about sharing my experience with the world and, making money off it, to be an author. So I authored the book, Guide to 10x Sales, and I made that sale. And over time I just saw that okay, people already knew me for what I was sharing online, over time. And I saw people were interested in my journey. And I said, oh, I've started off my book. Does anyone join a wait list? And I was surprised that over 50 people, you know, joined my wait list. And with that, I shared, made like 500,000. I was like, what? That
Hmm.
was like good money at the time,
Exactly.
and then I just spent the money, traveling, I went for, some programs in Lagos, and then I was back again, with no money in my pocket. So I met a friend of mine. He introduced me to digital marketing, and I started taking courses. I did fundamental in digital marketing course, to got the certificate, and over time, I think it was around August. I got my first job, August
Wow.
2019. I think I started serving, and I got that job as a digital skill trainer. That's where I went to start training businesses on, Google products and all of that. So, I was being paid for that, and just little by little, I used to borrow like my friend's laptop, go project screen. We used to go into villages to do some of these
Hmm.
trainings. And that's where I spoke at that event. I was a Google trainer then. I spoke at that event. I met, the CEO that gave me my first, paying job. And I finished interview. Okay, come and start the job now. There was no laptop. I had to borrow. One of my friends was part of the company, so he had two PCs. So he had to give me his laptop. I used it for the first 3 months, of the job, and I had to like borrow money. I think my uncle gave me like some of the money I used to like get the laptop. I saved for like 3 months before I got the laptop that I used, to continue the job. So I was in that job. I just interacted. That's where I met, my friend Victor that, connected me to
Yeah.
Mr. Jaffet. And, that's just how my journey just started, just little by little. I remember being
Hmm.
frustrated on my third day, March 2019. And, a lot of hype because, then I used to be online. I used to like post, do all this
Hmm.
motivational stuff. And, a lot of people were hailing me on my birthday, and it was so sweet, but I just knew that there was something missing, right? I had so much knowledge, but I didn't know how to monetize this knowledge. That's why I always hammer on the importance of events, right? If I didn't go for that event, I couldn't have met the man, and I couldn't have, gotten that internship that gave me my first job. I kept sharing my journey and all that. So, over time, I just did that. From there, I got the job in the counter, and just over time, I just kept growing, and then got into Web3 space proper. And, here I am. So it's not like the journey has been, I wish I was, in the UK. And I mean, this could have been, I know
Wow. So
that it could have been
that's
like,
awesome.
yeah.
No, that's awesome. Really knowing that there was. In fact, I didn't even know, if not today, that you got your first laptop during your defense. So I think we were even privileged enough
Ah,
to get our laptop during our 100, 200 level day. So it was not really
yeah.
easy, but I think it showed how persistent and resilient you were through all the challenges to have been able to come out this refined and good enough. Because I think a lot of people would have not been able to have gone through a lot of this, because most people will say, you know, some people that have the laptop will say we'll finish university first before we start learning. That's most of the things we heard during university, that no,
Yeah.
university to get CGPA and come out with good results. After university, then
Ah,
you learn.
CGPA.
So
Well, that's
that's me
another
reflecting.
conversation.
Exactly, but I think you have shown us that whatsoever the challenges can be, with persistence and dedication towards learning, you can be able to. I think within the shortest period of 4 5 years, you are able to turn the table around to favor you, because you need to ask yourself the truthful question: what I'm doing, is it really the right thing? What I know, is it
Mhm.
giving me the life? There's this quote that says. Uh, if what you know doesn't give you the life you desire, then all you have is an illusion of knowledge, not really worth it. So you need to always ask yourself,
Yeah.
there are moments of truth. So you need to ask yourself if really what you know is really helping you or not. So thank you very much, Mr. Greatman, for sharing. It's wonderful having you today. Out of your busy schedule, you
A
had to take
pleasure.
time for us. Thank you. I really appreciate. For all our viewers, thank you very much. For everyone that asked questions, thank you very much. For the community members, we say thank you, Mr. Greatman. To our sponsors, we say thank you. And to every speaker that have spoken on Blockchain for All 2023 edition, the expert edition, we want to appreciate you. And we're very sure very soon we are going to have series where we are going to be bringing up people that have learned one or two things and most probably have started their journey in all the advices you have given, so that we're able to see how what you have done or what you have taught here has impacted life. Also, this video, as I've said, is going to be bundled and shared to different communities, because, as I've said yesterday, 10 years will still come and go, but this video is going to remain, and we're always going to put it as a reference that an expert once told us that we should do this, and this, and we're going to enjoy it. So this video is going to outlive us. We are very sure of that. But it's always going to be a reference point for us to say, yes, once upon a time, Mr. Greatman was here to teach about this and this, and I took that video, I took that instruction, and today my life has turned out. We are very sure that in the next few months or years, we're going to see experts that are going to sprout out from this information you have shared. So thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Uh, so as you go to rest, we pray that God will continue to allow your coach. We are going to ensure that this video
Mhm.
gets to every person we can reach out to there, and we are hopeful that it's going to turn lives around. So thank you very much, everyone. Join me tomorrow again. I'll bringing up another speaker for Blockchain for All 2023. And I promise it's going to be awesome, just like today's one has been awesome. So it's going to be like that until we finish the expert edition for this year. So thank you very much, and do have a wonderful night rest. Thank you, Mr. Greatman.
Yeah,
I don't know,
thank you,
maybe you have
everyone.
1 minute, 1 minute word that we'll hold on to today. Then we'll call it a day. Mhm.
Um, I think what I would say is, you know, if you're looking to start, I'll say start from where you are. Don't think that the starting point is far from you. Just start from where you are. Start from what you're doing and see how you can plug in from where you are. Right? If you're
Mm,
looking to go into the Web3 space, understand what it is for yourself, understand how what you're doing connects to the Web3 space, and then you just launch yourself. Thank you so
that's it.
much for the opportunity, Mr. Jaffet. Thank you, everyone that joined us live. It's been
Thank you very much.
a
Thank you very
wonderful
much.
event.
All right. So thank you very much, guys. Do have a wonderful night rest.